Now we go live to Brazil as presidential elections are underway in that South American nation. International analyst Danny Shaw provides us with more details as he is Franco de Rocha, one of the largest voting centers in Sao Paulo. Be welcome, Danny.
Good afternoon, Gladys. Good afternoon, teleSUR.
So, Danny, as you are in there, you can show us or maybe describe for us how is this, the ambience there, how the people is going to vote, and how is are these elections going on and roll out? Because we know these elections are marked by polarization and tensions, and expectations have been building up.
Polarization and expectations are an understatement in this massive country of 210 million. The sixth largest economy in the world, an economy of some $2 trillion. There is so much at stake today in this showdown between fascism and neocolonialism, and another path, a step in the right direction towards self-determination. That's what the PT and Lula represent. I'm outside of one of the largest polling stations here in the north of Sao Paulo, in front of Rocha. And what from the people is that this is actually a festival of democracy. They've waited 4 long, agonizing years to remove Bolsonaro and fascism from power, and today is their day. So of the 153 million Brazilians who are eligible to vote, I think a high percentage will take advantage of that democratic right today. Though Bolsonaro has questioned the legitimacy of these elections, we can see this as a Trumpian-like tactic so he can try to wage some type of coup, similar to the coup that was waged in 2016 to remove Dilma Rousseff and the PT from power, but based on an honest, sober analysis of the balance of forces.
Yeah, so you were talking about how Bolsonaro has been downplaying and downgrading the legitimacy of these elections. And he has been saying that he's not going to recognize or acknowledge the victory of other candidate. And as we know, he has the power on the army and all the armed branches and the executive power. But this morning, just minutes ago, the president of the National Electoral Court, Alexandre de Moraes, I don't have your Portuguese, but I'm trying, you know. He was saying that these are clean, transparent, and fair elections. So I know these two parts of Brazilian power, the legislative and also, in this case, the electoral also, and the executive are in a confrontation. How can this, maybe this paradox is reflected in the elections and in the people that is going to vote?
Well, we remember that Trump employed a very similar tactic where he refused to recognize the results when he lost in 2020. And it's very clear that Bolsonaro is a student of Trump-like tactics. A group of international journalists, we met with the Superior Electoral Tribunal this week. They walked us through the process. This is a very sophisticated and modern process. The votes are automatically tallied electronically. Unlike the United States, where we had to wait 5 full days to know the results, by 11 p.m. Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro time, all of Brazil, this behemoth, this economic behemoth of South America, should know the results tonight. The popular sectors of the country are hoping that Lula wins in the first round because they're saying that their hearts and their anxiety cannot take another 28 days in case there's a second round showdown on October 30th.
So I have a last question for you. Do you believe that we are going to see a second round of these presidential elections, or are we going to see the final results today in this first round?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, Gladys. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I believe in sober political prognostications, but Lula could win tonight, or it could take a second round because there's 2 other candidates, including Celso Gomes, and these other 2 candidates could absorb 5 to 8% of the vote, which could divide the PT Lula vote. But what we do know is that the vast majority of Brazilians are voting against fascism, against white supremacy, against Bolsonarismo. They don't want to be a neo-colony of the United States in the West. They want further Latin American integration. And Lula's campaign has campaigned around the SUR, South American Caribbean currency. He doesn't want, the Brazilian people don't want to continue to be a neo-colony. They want to rejoin a project, a Bolivarian project, and a project of Latin American unity and integration.
Okay, so thank you, Danny, for these opinions, this presence, and this moment of you hearing from the South. We hope you will be here with us as we cover these presidential elections in Brazil.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for the invite.